A Keion video in 2020? Abso-fucking-lutely. What's good, guys? It's your chicken, and I'm gonna tell you guys about how amazing this anime is and why I love it so much. So fasten your seatbelt. Now you may be asking, Keion, isn't that a kid's show? No. Let me show you why Keion is for the chattest people, the absolute alpha males, bro. I don't know about you, man, but when I got into Keion, I wasn't expecting shit. Just a typical moe moe Kyoon show, you know? But what I got was something so special that this instantly became one of my all-time favorites. Without further ado, let's talk about why Keion and its characters are on another level. Yui, Ritsu, Mugi, Mio, and Azusa. Where do I even begin with these girls? We'll start with how they look overall. Let's go with our girl Yui. When Yui was introduced, we instantly get an idea of what she's like. An airhead klutz. The first scene is a really good way of visual storytelling. It immediately gives us a picture of her graduating middle school, and then it turns into a oopsies, I break my butt as she's late for her first day in high school. We can immediately see how Yui is an open book. She really doesn't have anything she wants to do. She just wants to enjoy life and have a full time. She really doesn't seem to worry about a thing. And she's super innocent, like, oh my god. That being said, she wants to find purpose. Something that she loves doing and can feel like she's actually doing something with her life. Her voice actor does an incredible job projecting all these things about Yui, both sub and dub. Speaking of good voice acting, our girl Ritsu has a great voice actor as well. Ritsu immediately shows us that she's an extroverted girl. Her energetic presence and actions gives us an idea of how she's like. Her short hair and headband gives us a physical appearance that someone looks like Yui, who is extroverted as well. But one kinda has a screw. Okay, maybe they both do, but whatever. She really came off as loud and maybe annoying for some viewers. But that trait of hers starts to stick with us as the anime progresses. Her relationship with Mio makes us feel what kind of person she is as a friend, and seems to have a very close relationship with her as well. I mean, I don't know, man, like, if you hit someone in the head that hard, if you guys aren't close, I don't know, man, like, the police is right there, 911, you know what I'm saying? Mio comes off as a very shy and introverted girl right from the get-go. That being said, she kind of violent, bro, like, holy I mean, Mio kind of looks like a doll. She's tall and has long black hair, and she's quiet, and this exactly reflects how she actually is. Mio has a very strong fear of being in front of people that she doesn't know. And it's honestly kind of ridiculous, the level of nervousness she has. But later on, we see how she starts to fix that. That being said, Mugi also has a lot of her qualities, but in so many ways, she is different. Mugi was first shown trying to find a classical music club, and due to her having blonde hair, she has this rich foreign girl stereotype plastered immediately. And thick eyebrows. She looks like this dumb bitch, oh my god, girl at first. And she really does seem like this after she decides to join the light music club. But later on, we see that she's this super cute girl that just wants to find a place she can fit in because of her being an outcast per se. And this is reflected more along the way when more episodes are focused on Mugi and the teacher, Sawa. She's an interesting character, right? I mean, it's really evident that she tries so hard to maintain a picture for her students. This is reflected more later on in one of the episodes when she starts to put on a lot of makeup and it ends up backfiring. And she is someone that's very scared of her past, of people finding out, that is. But all in all, she just wants to be a good idol. And finally, our cat girl Azusa. She's introduced almost at the end of the first season. That and the fact that she's the girl's junior makes her somewhat the literal pet or little sister of the club. In a way, she's like a combination of the girls. And this is literally seen in one of the later episodes. Azusa wanted to join because she thought the club was an actual music club that strives to be the best. But this was immediately denied the very moment she opened the door to join the club. She was very doubtful if she would stay in the club or not. But instead of finding what she expected, she found something completely different. These characters have all had growth, and they've definitely grown on me. I love them. They've grown as people, friends, and of course, a club. Their pointless interactions at the club room, the moments that seem silly and stupid, those are the moments that they grow closer together and gives us the viewers a sense of what they're feeling and see them strengthen their bonds as friends and as a club. This might sound stupid, but the way the anime does these things is just in a way that makes us connect with the characters on an emotional level. Each viewer has something that they can relate to in one of the characters. Whether you're looking for purpose, or want to feel like you belong somewhere, or want to get over your anxieties and becoming someone confident, or you want to become an idol for other people to look up to. Everyone has something they can relate to, whether it's in the present time or in the past. That's why it's so engaging to see the girls grow up and slowly find what they're looking for, and something much more than that. In a way, we see part of ourselves growing and becoming better people when we watch more and more episodes. We see them do the stupidest shit, from just sitting down and talking about tea or trying to become someone's punching bag. Although these things might seem stupid, they're the way they engage with us, because the things they do are so simple and stupid that we emphasize with it. In season 2, each of the episodes have some sort of message. For instance, Ritsu trying to play another instrument because she wanted to stand out, only to find out that drums is her soulmate. What does this tell us? To do what you love. Another example is Mugi trying to receive some sort of affection since she feels left out in that aspect with the group. And when she tries as hard as she can, it never happens. But when she started being herself and stopped trying, she got hit. What does this tell us? Don't try so hard to change who you are just to try and fit in. And Sawa, with her past of being a very gothic girl, she tries so hard to hide it and is afraid that other people will just look at her differently if they find out about this. But when her students find out that she had this sort of past, they looked at her differently, but in a very good way. They thought she was awesome and a lot cooler than she originally was. What does this tell us? To be yourself no matter how weird you think you are or were in the past. And the last example I'm going to say is what I mentioned earlier with Azusa. She started acting like the girls in different ways, and she didn't like this at first. She tried hard to not let that happen because she had a fixated mindset of becoming a great guitar player on her mind, as we can see when she even starts to look for other bands. But there came a point where she realized the club wasn't all about that. Sure, she might not be with the most talented people in the world, but without a doubt, she found a group of people that make her every day an adventure. And this is even more evident in the end of the anime. The message, well, you can consider this to have two meanings. You become the people you're around with, no matter how you tried to avoid it. And to always try to find value and good things of the things you do and take part of, no matter how bad they may seem. I could get more into the messages, but there are a lot. And I don't want to make this video an hour long. Okay, maybe I do, but that's besides the point. Keion really caught me by surprise. I never would have thought that a show like this would have made me feel in such a way that a lot of other shows fail to do. Throughout the whole series, I cringed, I laughed, I felt empathy, and of course, I cried. What I'm trying to say is that this show really makes you feel it all. And honestly, like I said earlier, I had close to zero expectations when I watched Keion. As the anime kept on progressing, the characters start to have these memorable little things to them, like the way they walk or the little hand gestures they do. I realized that when the girls were in a costume for the second time, I literally could not see anyone's faces, but I could easily identify each one just by how they moved and their postures. Kyoto are gods at doing this kind of thing. Speaking of Kyoto, now's a good time to talk about the animation and direction that Keion has. And personally, it stands to be one of, if not the best in a slice of life. And I've seen my fair share of SOLs, guys. What separates Keion from the rest is by far the small things. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, the little body movements that you wouldn't normally see, like the fingers or just subtle hair movements. These things gives everything so much life. Things as stupid as Mio taking pictures in London gives scenes like this a much more vibrant feeling. And the animation is really complemented well thanks to our goddess on earth, Naoko Yamada. The funny scenes were just so cleverly made. Like when Mio fell in the first performance and it showed a bowl of rice instead of her underwear. And the subtle symbolisms like the turtles and strawberries. You might be asking, strawberries? Well, strawberry in Japanese is ichigo, and if you separate ichi and go, it gives 1 and 5. 15 is the age you normally start high school. And the turtles is just a reminder to just take it slow and enjoy the little things in life. With To-chan and the turtle statues, and even the plushies, Naoko has this certain style that makes us, the viewers, understand the characters visually. This is seen in a lot of scenes, like the first scene in season 2, or most notably in the end of the movie. We see how Yui walks backwards and how the other girls follow up. This alone can tell us a lot about them without saying a word. Again, something Yamada excels at. And the openings and endings had amazing visuals. Especially the endings. They all looked like music videos, and this is really evident in other things that Naoko has done. For instance, the Tamako Market ending, which is like a music video. Another thing that makes this club so lovable is how it handles comedy through their interaction. As mentioned before, their interactions are silly as and that's what makes them funny. Sure, there are some moe moments here and there, but they're not cringy moe moments. You know what I'm saying? These interactions have a lot of genuinity in them because the fluidity of their movements and reactions and voice acting are just very realistic. Keion is one of those shows that you can notice when the voice actors are having a blast in the recording session. This anime uses the slice of life element to the maximum when it comes to comedy. A scene that I loved and laughed a lot to is when Yui was looking at herself in the mirror, just doing tiny adjustments to her hair, only to change it back to how it was in the beginning. Or when she had a dream with Mugi and imagined that her eyebrows were food. It's such a funny scene because Mugi's eyebrows are definitely unique per se, and it's something I notice a lot whenever she shows up. It's the small things like these that make this show what it is. So finally, let's get into the music. When I originally got into Keion, I thought it was going to be one of those animes that girls are chasing their dreams of becoming the best band in Japan kind of thing. But it's certainly not about that at all. In the first season, it might have looked like it was going that direction for a bit, but that just changed completely when it was nearing the end. The names of their songs are honestly so stupid and ridiculous. It perfectly reflects what they're all about. I mean, what kind of name is Ballpin and Rice is Delicious, bro? You already know that the openings and endings all slap. Especially the endings because of my girl Mio, you know? I honestly think that the third opening is the best one of the openings. And there's a good video that goes in depth into why it's so good. Anyways, these songs were made for the chattest of the chat, bro. Who doesn't listen to Fua Fua Time when you're benching 500 pounds? Am I right, guys? And Kira Kira Days, like, that's the Osu song, am I right? Yo, I'm just saying, guys, like, that being said, the last two songs they made in the anime were by far the most meaningful. You and I being how much Yui loves Yui. Honestly, I didn't even notice that You and I literally means Ui at first. And honestly, this is my favorite one. I did not expect to feel sad in this anime at all. But when episode 20 came, man, do I have news for you? Episode 20 was such a good episode. It stands as one of my favorites of all time. Their performance just had everything, man. It's the episode that perfectly describes this show as a whole. It puts you in the perspective of the audience. Experience what they were doing as if it were real time. It was cringy, funny, and sad. I mean, in the last scene when the girls began hoping for more performances, I just couldn't, bro. If you didn't get at least teary-eyed to this, I feel so bad for you, bro. It was just a perfect combination of emotions throughout the whole episode. To feel so much and getting hit with that scene was just perfectly done. And that final song, Tenshi ni Fureta, was... Woo! Oh my god, bro. I already cried in episode 20, but this was the cherry on top. Or strawberry. No. And it's even better after watching the movie because we see how they were making it. And this song is somewhat foreshadowed in episode 20. It was played when the girls were in the clubroom right after the performance. Alright. Enough about sad moe moments. Keion is honestly the best piece of media that represents what friendship is about. What the family you choose means to all of us. We all have something we can relate to in Keion. Whether it's their relationships, problems, or aspirations, there's something for everyone to feel empathy for. To me, this show is plastered with things I relate to. Mio as a character is someone I can understand since I related to the issues that she had with their insecurities and her shyness. And we're very similar in a lot of other aspects as well. Like when she gets excited over the things she likes. And the girls were constantly reminding me of the group of friends that I have. And Sawa heavily reminded me of an art teacher I had. They both felt like a second mom and did similar things for their group of students. She also kind of looked like her. That being said, no other studio could have done this show the way it ended up being. Kyoto Ani just always does something different from the rest of the studios. There's always something unique to the shows they do. There's a good video explaining how good of an adaptation Keion is. From being a 4-panel comic to what it is, this show will always have a place in my soul, bro. These might just be the group of characters that I love the most. That being said, I can't say that about the girls individually because it's just not the same, right? You reached the end of the video. If you can't tell, I really love Keion, and if it wasn't obvious, there's really nothing else I can say about this series. Everything was just said. All my love was poured into this video, the love I have for this anime. And like I said before, there's a lot of cringy moments, and I cringed a lot in this anime because of whatever reason, but that's exactly why it's so amazing and funny and just it's very unique. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, and if you didn't like it, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Did you know that? Don't eat chicken, and as always, stay cringy, guys.